Hey guys, have you ever feared waking up every day to the same things, same struggles, and just fear that your day is going to go the same and have the same results as every other day? That's going to be our topic today. It's going to be on fear. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's episode of the Bump Podcast. Welcome everyone to another episode of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host Shamir, here with my co-host and beloved brother Nabil.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode, everybody. We're excited to be here another week. Today we've got a very important topic to talk about. What are we talking about?
We're talking about fear, about waking up every day and just same results, same things, and instead of just getting back up every day with new rejuvenated strength and pumping through the day and just knowing a new result could come out of it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle, dangle, dangle.
Turn it on.
Follow us on all our social platforms. And we thank you guys for being viewers of the Bump Podcast.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to break down some good stuff for them real quick? Do you have anything there?
Yes. The definition of fear.
See.
Fear leads the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. All right. Fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or a threat. Why are you guys talking about this? It sounds like you guys are kind of like, kind of in a funk. No, it's not that. I think it's important when we were kind of thinking about this to touch upon it, because we live in times where I feel like the simplest things kind of triggers that emotion on a day-to-day basis, whether it's some sort of relationship, whether it's finances, whether it's our jobs or school, or balancing all of that out.
I wanna give you an example. I want to give you an example of why my fear is a little different.
Okay.
It's the paranoia of getting locked up again.
Yeah.
All right. So this week, on the weekend, actually, it was Sunday of the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. We won the Super Bowl, and by a lot.
He would have lost some more sleep if they had lost.
Well, obviously, I mean any fan.
And you were also affected.
Super Bowl that loses.
Yeah, and you were also affected by the fact that Jalen Hurts was pretty much in our backyard.
Yeah, and nobody told me until like last minute.
How did you not know? Like that's a thing they do every Super Bowl.
I did not know that.
Whoever wins, they go to Disney the next day.
Disney. That's crazy.
The next day, how do you have the strength to travel?
Telling you, I'm like, bro, like you have to be like dedicated, or like that's probably part of their contract or something, where it's like you have to do it, because there's just no way that I literally just won the Super Bowl and I want to go to Disney the next day.
The next day, give me a
few days, because then you got the parade in Philly to go to, or wherever you're from. Yeah. You got a whole week worth of interviews and everything coming up. Like I just want to rest the next day.
Maybe that is their form of rest, though. Like I'm just gonna go decompress at the biggest theme park in the world.
I mean, it's not bad, but I'm just saying, me personally, I just want to relax the next day.
He got on Tron, though. Mad respect, bro.
Jalen, we love you, man. Saquon Barkley, all you guys, we love you guys. Congratulations. Anyways, so the day of the Super Bowl, earlier that day, I went with my son to the local park that's by our house. And I told my lady, hey, honey, so you could get some homework up to date. Just do your homework. I'll go by myself. So I went with my son. We get there. We hang out. Took him on a little restroom break. Came back. We kept on playing. Then this kid that looks like Sid out of Toy Story. He's like 7 or 8 years old, right? It's humor now, but it wasn't that day.
Was it humorous then?
Yeah. My son is about to go down the biggest slide in the park. I'm the only
that boy loves slides.
Let me paint the picture of what was going on.
Paint the picture.
There's there's a little birthday party, I guess, happening. There's a gazebo or two,
further off,
about over 100 feet away. All the parents were like in the gazebo talking, and their kids were all playing, but the oldest kid was also playing, and he had his little tablet, but he I don't know, he was just weird. He was the oldest one there.
He was weird.
And then my son's not even 2 years old, so check that out. I'm the only parent on the whole little pad of the playground with, you know, that's paying attention to any of the kids there. But that's not my responsibility. My responsibility is my son, you know. I mean, obviously, if I see a kid fall or something, I'll be like, "Are you okay?" You know, or whatever. But I mean, you know, they were just really not my responsibility. So then my son's getting about to hit the slide. This kid grabs my son by the waist and tries to throw him down the slide. That lit gas to the fire. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be fully honest of what I did. I just yelled at the kid. I went off on the kid, boom, boom, boom. And his father comes like, you know, sprinting over to like, hey, what are you saying to my son? And I'm like, bro, you are a terrible human being as a father because you are not paying zero attention to your son or any of these kids here or any of you guys. You guys are just acting like, oh, it's a playground, they could go play. You guys are underage. Then they'd be mad, right? How there's such a huge rate of human trafficking and kidnappers in this nation. You don't pay attention to your son at 100 feet distance plus.
You should, if your kid's playing in the park, you need to be like over there.
He was jumping into conclusions like, I'm just yelling at him because I wanted to yell at him. No, right. I literally told him, I'm like, your son is literally about to throw my son off the damn slide, and I had to grab him. I had to grab him because, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I bleeped, you know, I literally through the whole book of curse words because I was just so upset. I'm like, bro, you're the one that's not. It's incredible how in modern day society, the person that is right is wrong and the person that is wrong is right. And then they justify that shit, man.
They try to.
Yeah, like, oh, bro, but when I told him what happened, he kind of just like, he stood up. I'm like, man, it's, I'm like, I literally told him, you are lucky that I don't, you know, snap here and snap on you. Because first, I'm with my son, and second, I'm not going to jail today. And I just literally grabbed my leg and the little his little Bentley bike, and I just took off, bro. I was sprinting to the house, dude. Almost, I was speed walking. I was so mad, bro. Because it's just like, those are the things that I fear, man. That yes, I could snap, and hey, if he would have answered back to me, obviously I would have came into a conclusion like, bro, I'm still not gonna go to jail. Excuse me, because of something stupid like that. But bro, when you actually care about your kid or your child,
you'll do anything for him,
right? And you see stuff like that, like a kid's, like the intention you saw in the malice in the face of the kid, like he's just trying to push him down so he could go down the slide. Like, bro, like,
while he was still on his tablet though.
No. The tablet was like to the side. Oh, it was like on the floor over there. But what bothers me is that, like, you're 7-8 years old. You know what you're doing. I don't care. Like, you know, if you were like 3, 4, maybe even 5, I would have gave it to you. But bro, you're a grown ass kid. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I cursed at the kid because I know he knows what he's doing, but he was just like, you know, just a lot of people, whether they're kids, teenagers, grown ass people. I've been fighting with half of social media this week on the Eagles stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're just haters, and they'll just say any type of crazy stuff. And sometimes they just imply things that they think that you have pressure on you, and I have no pressure. When I type stuff, you've seen that I sent you about that kid the other day too. I have no pressure in my chest with these people. I just laugh the whole time that I'm typing things. Yeah. And people like will insinuate that you are, like, why are you saying this or why are you saying that? Like, people don't expect, my point is, people don't expect for you to reply to them when they do some crazy stuff. And bro, we live in a society where there's a lot of crazy people out there. I'm not a crazy person, but I am a person that will confront you if you are doing something that is affecting me or especially my people.
Yeah.
And not to the point where I'm getting violent or anything, but will I let you know that you're acting stupid or ridiculous? Yes. And it's not to criticize you or bring you down, but you need to recognize that same thing, maybe another father would have done something else, you know what I'm saying? Or probably would have slapped the heck out of that parent or something, just because it's like,
somebody crazy. Yeah.
Pay attention to your people. Yeah. Pay attention to your kid. Be a good parent. If you cannot do that and you need to be entertained, don't be a father. Yeah. Give them up for foster child, foster care or something, because you. And
that sounds cold, but it's true. Like, you
need to give your undivided attention as a parent to your child. If you're going to the park, it's with the child, not to be on your damn phone. And my phone is to take pictures and make memories with my child, if anything. But other than that, my phone is in my pocket and I'm just watching my child grow, bro, and having a good time. You see what I'm saying? But my
I play with the kid all the time.
Yes,
I love it.
He's a great uncle.
But to stay on the topic of the whole fear stuff, right? That was a huge one. That's a good one. A lot of you parents hopefully can relate. And if you're the type of parent that's the opposite of what he just mentioned, you might want to check on those little flaws so you can work on them. You know what I mean? Because God forbid, say that other kid had thrown his son down there, my nephew. There could have been consequences, huge consequences. You know what I mean? And as the opposite parent, you need to be aware of what your child is doing at all times. Yes, at a party, you're talking to others, other adults and whatnot, but your kids first, man. That's just it right there. But in terms of fear of waking up with all this stress and anxiety and all that stuff, sometimes for me in the past has been, are we going to have enough food for the week? Are we going to have work for the week? Am I going to be able to work today? Are some of my loved ones who are closest to me going to wake up negative today? And is that going to rub off on me? And if so, like, what do I got to do in order for it to not rub off on me and for me to kind of switch the script and stay positive, stay mentally focused on the things that we need to do, on the things we need to be grateful for, and all of that stuff. And so I think a lot of people in society, or all of us at some point or another, we're too focused on what we don't have, what we haven't achieved yet, how we thought our lives would be at a specific point, let's say at a specific age, and haven't accomplished it. But then you're scrolling on social media, and let's say the people you went to high school with or even college with, they're, in terms of their careers, let's say, or even their personal lives, they're ahead of you, right? So they already have the family, they already have the kids, they already have this phenomenal job that pays well, and all that stuff. And I'm over here still working, let's say, at a grocery store, or I'm working at at a place that's not really paying you enough. And that's something we have to discipline ourselves to not wrap our minds around so much, and rather just discipline yourselves in not thinking that way. How do you do that? For one, don't give social media that much attention if it's affecting you like that. Just don't, because then it's a really toxic thing for you. And you're not only are you killing time, literally just scrolling, but it's also affecting you, seeing all these people doing better off than you. And I do the whole quotation marks thing, because you could be doing better off too, but you have to know how to use your time wisely, whether it's going to the gym, and I'm talking to myself because I got to do that, whether it's going to the gym, reading books like he's mentioned a lot of times. That way you're stipulating your mind, you're educating yourselves, you're training your brain on these different things. So if we're talking about reading the Bible, or reading mental health books, or reading anything that'll help you just progress in more ways than one, then you're doing yourself a service rather than just comparing your lives to other people. And sometimes too, it's important to not to kind of seem like a ghost on social media and stuff like that, only because you're working behind the scenes. People doesn't need to know that. You just do it. And then let's say 2 years from now you got to go on a cruise. Well, dang, they went on a nice cruise. How did they go on a nice cruise? Well, because I've been working hard, I've been working overtime, I've had 2 jobs, or whatever I've needed to do in order to dedicate that time. My bills are paid off, everything's paid off, we're good to go. So those are the things that you need to kind of work on a day-to-day basis, and this is including ourselves. What kind of things have you been able to do in order to work through some of those fears? Let's say now that you're a dad and Malek is going to be 2 soon, what are perhaps some fears that you currently have that you hope to overcome the older he gets?
Right. One of the most important things, obviously fear is something mental. So I think the most important thing for anyone, especially, in my case, I need to be mentally, I have to have a good mental strength to not just raise my child, but to keep myself always afloat and at least in a good, positive manner on a constant basis to continue my life, and and any of you guys, the viewers that are watching, you have to be mentally on point. I mean, depression and all these things, you know, a lot of people fear to go back to the old them, to, you know, substance abuse and all these things. And, you know, one of the tools I use the most to keep myself strong is, you know, all the time that's gone by that I've been doing well, the habits that I've changed to be the person that I am nowadays. All those things I look back and be like, yeah, you know, this makes sense. This makes perfect sense to be this person and not go back to being, you know, relapsing into the old me or to the old habits, and, you know, being, you know, imprisoned in my mind and being depressed and feeling like every day, because I, you know, that's I want to read this because it leads me to something that I struggled with for a very long time. I sent this to Nabil when we were creating the idea this week, and he's like, "That's excellent." So it says this: the true horror of existence is not the fear of death, but the fear of life. It is the fear of waking up each day to face the same struggles, the same disappointments, the same pain. It is the fear that nothing will ever change, that you are trapped in a cycle of suffering that you cannot escape. And in that fear, there is a desperation, a longing for something, anything, to break the monotony, to bring meaning to the endless repetition of days. There was a point in my life where I would wake up just to go back to sleep. And I did that also in prison, like my first couple of months, because I hadn't accepted my situation. I'm just like, let me just go back to sleep. It's not that I thought it was a dream. It was just I didn't want to face my reality. And I think there's millions of people out there that go through this. And I say to you that we can break through fear by being, by having courage, by having focus, determination, being completely exhausted and tired of being in the same situation. I think that's a motivation to continue to build into something new, to create new success, new boundaries in certain things, stop doing certain things, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously part of, you know, constantly sleeping, constantly eating, all these bad habits, you need to, you know, put a halt to these things and say, I want better today. Today I want to wake up.
Absolutely.
You know, especially if you have kids, you know, now it's not just about you. I was just talking to a friend the other day. He's about to have a kid, hopefully now in March. God bless his soul and his family. And we were talking about, you know, how once you have a kid, you know, the liability is a lot more, but also you're not just thinking for yourself anymore. You're thinking for the kid. You're thinking about your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. You know, it's just, it's a family now. So now the pressure is a lot more, but once you see that child in your arms and on a constant basis calling you daddy or mommy and smiling at you, man, it's such a rewarding and heartfelt feeling. It's just such a warm feeling in the heart, and you feel so great, and it pays off. So let's fear less, you know, and move forward on a positive note, and don't stay in that funk, man. It's terrible, man. I've been depressed in my life. I've been, you know, fearful of waking up every morning and being like, man, it's the same thing. Man, I'm getting the same results. But again, you know, if you don't change, if you don't try to change and have people around you that'll help you change. This is something that I called up, that I told you, Toastmasters the other day. I need to go to a meeting very soon. It's Friday mornings at 7 a.m. I know it's very early, but like I want to continue to practice my grammar and how I speak, you know, on the mic, especially because we got this podcast. I want to continue to better myself.
Widen our horizon in terms of the words we use.
Yeah. And you know,
have to.
Yeah, man. And I hate being the person that says, and yeah, of course.
Stuff
like that. But yeah, you go ahead, mate.
No, yeah, that there's some what I was going to discuss a little bit was the statistics of, kind of like the most common issues that society tends to fall under when it comes to the fear, right? Some of the issues are, like I mentioned, financial issues, poor nutrition, right? That's a big one. Something as simple as traffic on the road. I mean, how many of us, driving on the highway or in local streets, especially during rush hour or because of work and school, it's so annoying to have to deal with sometimes. So that's another one. Chronic stress, lack of exercise. That's also an important one. All of these are important. Insomnia, waking up on time, depression, health issues, and loneliness. Loneliness can be a trigger, and again, that also comes with the comparison of social media and things like that. I think loneliness is a topic we should certainly touch upon at some point, because I think a lot of people go through it and don't necessarily talk about it. They're not vocal about it. Yeah. And I know I could relate to that too sometimes in the past, and that was part of this exact topic that we're talking about today is the loneliness, waking up, feeling like maybe nobody loves you. And that might not be true. Sometimes it's all in our head. This is what we're saying to ourselves to sometimes pity ourselves.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I call that Satan at times, because he's a liar, and he'll put that in that constant, like, oh, he ain't worth nothing. Oh, you're just a piece
correct.
of crap.
And a lot of times that can lead to things like suicide. That can lead to a lot of bad things when you think like that. And that all falls under the fears that we have of waking up every single day, still feeling alone, still feeling like you have to isolate yourself and protect yourself from people hurting you even more. And that's super serious. And here on the Bump Podcast, we take that very seriously, and we want to continue to provide helpful tools for you guys to overcome that the way we've overcome it. And I'd like to think that, even though we've overcome it now, doesn't mean it won't affect us in the future. But I'd like to think that we're probably a little more mentally prepared for, okay, if I fall into this funk, these are ways I can get out of it. An important tool for this kind of topic is learning how to learn relaxation techniques that can help you with the mental and physical feelings of fear. Again, it's something as simple as doing exercises, whether it's some sort of going to work out. Let's say today you're going to go and hit the weights for a little bit, or do a little cardio. Cardio is something I absolutely detest. I hate it. But at the same time, once you've done it, you feel great.
Oh yeah.
You literally feel stronger. So imagine waking up feeling weak, but as the day goes on, you're actually gaining this strength you need. That's phenomenal. So then when you go to sleep that night and wake up the next morning, you should feel well rested, and your body should feel strong enough to be able to do whatever it is you need to do throughout that day. So, those are important things to keep in mind, to take notes of, and to put it into practice, like, as soon as you can, meaning like today, if not tomorrow morning. Actually today, because tomorrow isn't promised to us. So
how about
you can do that today? Well, yeah, but
yesterday
we're here today, so let's do it today.
Let's do it today. No, he's absolutely right. But honestly, I'm just saying it in the fact of, we need to start, because if we don't start,
that's what I'm saying today, because we always,
we're procrastinating. We don't want to do that here on Bump Podcast.
No.
A step at a time, but we're actually in movement. I could have put this character with 2 legs on 1 step, but you don't see no movement, right? You see, innovation at its finest. Yeah, we love you guys, and
we're here to look out for you all,
for sure. And hopefully you guys look out for us with at least a like, comment, or a subscribe.
And commenting too. That also helps out the algorithms a lot. But I think this pretty much touches touches the basis of what we're trying to get across. We've gone through it. It hurts like crazy when you kind of wake up in that funk, and it rubs off on people rather quickly too. You know, your household. It could be coming from your parents, your significant other, your sibling, your child, your whatever.
I must say, when I got home the other day on that, when I was angry, you know, I was very angry. So like, you know, the house felt it for sure. You know, they definitely felt it. And, you know, left my son inside and I was in the backyard just pacing back and forth, just like calming down. You know, I was just like, you know, I can't let this get to me and you know, end my day on a wrong note or just lash out on anybody at the house, you know. But you know, sometimes there's just certain angers that you're just like, man, it's incredible, because this is the thing. A big portion of fear is that obviously we don't have control over everything around us.
No,
right?
Of course not.
So like, you can also think like, man, it's going to be a great day, and you go out there and somebody messes it up, as my thoughts were before I got to the park. I'm like, man, I'm going to have a little good time with my little man. We're going to hang out, have one-on-one time, and just, you know, just like our father did with us, you know, take us to the park, hang out, have a good time. But there's always that one person that just wants to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like some people go to like a park and feel like the park is theirs. Like, people can't coexist and feel like it's like if there's a basketball court, like, okay, the best players are the only ones that are gonna play. Like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just find it crazy. And then like, and I understand in a way, like, okay, we want good competition, but like, okay, there's other people that want to play too. If you're inconsiderate, bro,
and then you want to hog the whole court, like, bro, keep at least half the court. Then
half a court, you know,
because if we don't want to play, we can't play here. You got me messed up.
Yeah, so that you see, but then problems come and like arguments or feeling some type of way, and you know, it escalates. They actually shot someone in that basketball court. It's not that we're in the hood, but this was many years ago. There was a problem that happened there, and someone ended up dying in that basketball court.
People are always getting shot up in basketball courts.
Well, but I mean, it's the same thing, because it's like, it's always some type of ignorance of a person that, or is selfish or just egocentric and wants to run things, and that's just not how it goes. And it's just like, you know, but I understand that that's the fear of a lot of people. Sometimes it's not what they're capable of doing, it's the things that the uncertainty of, okay, is there going to be a person that's going to pull up and you know what I'm saying, and that happened, you know what I'm saying, where that little kid was just on that bull crap. But it is what it is, you know. We just got to keep moving forward. Like I said, you know, I didn't harm anyone, you know. I mean, obviously verbally probably, but I mean, I feel like it wasn't deserved, because I'm not saying that anybody deserves any bad, but like, sometimes you got to give a wake-up call to people and be like, yo, like, calm down, or like, stop doing what you're doing, because it could get you in big problems. Because obviously, you know, that little kid could have gotten in a lot of trouble, and then it's, you know, lawsuits come because now I got to pay medical bills on my son or something like that, you know. Parents out there, pay attention, please. But yeah, that's just where I'm at with fear, man. Honestly, it's just sometimes it sickens me, and it gets me tired, because sometimes I've hold my tongue and just walked away of a lot of situations to not, you know, not put myself in that predicament of like, okay, if the police arrive, the first thing they're gonna do is like, okay, let me get your ID. Okay, this is the troublemaker here. Yeah, that's it. This guy's got a clean record. We're not going to touch him. That's just how society works. Just how it is. Yeah. Oh no, it's we don't live in equality in this country. I don't care what anybody. And in this world in general, like if you're the wrong person at the wrong time, that's just what you are. Point blank. Period. You know. But
and that's why we still have to continue to be difference makers.
That's it.
We have to.
Exactly right.
We have to be the example. Otherwise, we're just following the same patterns, and then what? Everything we're trying to do that's good is pretty much in vain. We're not going to get it perfect, because none of us are perfect, but we certainly have the opportunity and the option to make that change, to be the difference makers. So keep that ingrained in your hearts and in your minds. You have to get it done. Otherwise, you're just one of the followers, and you're not going to make any change, which then it's like, well, you're part of the problem.
You know what I also fear? It's a funny one. When I send you a message, or not you, but like anybody in general, through text, and they give me a thumbs up.
Oh, that's
I fear that so much, because it's so annoying. Like it's so sarcastic to me. It's like I don't want that. I do not give thumbs up unless I'm being sarcastic.
No, I'll give thumbs up it's rare that I use that one. Typically, I'll try to heart
yeah.
it because I know that offends a lot of people.
Right, it does. Like, bro, a thumbs up is like not
I
good.
rarely give a thumbs up.
It's not good.
Or if they leave it on red.
That's even worse. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yeah, especially for like the high school kids out there that they're trying to hit on a girl and they.
Oh well, I can't relate to that for us. That wasn't.
I'm gonna tell you a little anecdote to close out. It was pretty funny back in high school. There was this girl I liked. Right.
He liked a lot of girls.
I mean, anybody likes a lot of girls in high school, but
it's true.
We would call each other every day or whatever. The day I literally tell her like, all right, honey, you know, I really like you. You know what I'm saying? Like what's going on? She hung up the call on me.
Okay.
I was like, wow. So then we go to school the next day. She says hello, like nothing was wrong. I called her back a couple times, but she was dodging the call. And yeah, that's where I just dropped her. I was like, all right, whatever. Wasn't really, you weren't really liking me like that. Yeah.
It's so weird though.
Day.
She friend zoned you hardcore, but I don't know. That's interesting.
Some women are weird out there in that phase of life. They'll be like, you know, I just feel like there's a lot of women out there though to this day, like gold diggers and stuff. They'll be like, yeah, they'll act like they really want you. They'll take as much as they can from a guy, and then, you know, that's why I thank God for the woman I have. I love you, honey, because these women are sorry out here. A lot of these women are sorry, sadly, you know. But
I don't know.
yeah. You got anything else, mate?
God bless y'all. We're gonna end it with this, not with his little sob story, but with this. Every path
That's good. Yeah.
every path has its struggles and gain, its pleasures and pain. Now let me try that again. Every path has its struggles and gain, its pleasures and pain. Face your path, embrace all that comes with it. In the end, both the good and the bad have a way of leading you to a lifetime full of bliss.
There you go.
Okay, we're gonna leave it on that note. We love you guys. We thank you for tuning in on today's episode. What do they need to do?
Need to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle dingle dingle. Follow us on all our social platforms. Let's keep TikTok up so they don't ever cancel it. You know, because
that's right.
We get a lot of feedback over there.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, we love you guys. Finish having a great week.
Yes.
God bless you guys. God bless America.
And happy early Valentine's Day.
Yeah, to all you lovers out there. We'll see y'all next week.
See you guys.